I'm Rick Rams. I'm the Dean of Student Support Services and Physical Education Athletics here at Cypress College. And welcome to this week's edition of Charger Talk. I'm sitting here with Coach Scott Pickler, head men's baseball coach. And our focus this week is moving students on to the next level. And I can't think of a better program we offer here at Cypress College than our men's baseball program and moving students on to the next level. So Coach, tell us a little bit about your magic. How do you do it?
I don't know. I recruit the right kids and we go from there, and we think we're teaching the right things. We've been very successful moving guys on. You can go by what happened last year. We sent 11 guys to Division I level. Blake Davies at Connecticut, leading them in hitting. Dylan Moore's at Central Florida. He's second on their team. Chavi's starting every day over at Stony Brook. Tyler Schultz is a regular catcher at Tennessee. So they leave here and they produce at the next level. And I think we've produced the most guys at the Division I level than any other community college in California.
That's amazing. More guys in Division I from a community college than any other school out there. So this year, let's talk about who we have this year. Why don't you introduce for us who we have transferring on, and then we'll have a word with them.
All right. First gentleman I'd like to bring up is Stephen Kane. He was the state pitcher of the year last year on our championship team, and he's going to the University of Tennessee.
And for the purposes of doing introductions, go ahead and name everybody else off, and then one by one we'll get started.
Matt Tietz is our starting third baseman. He's going to Oklahoma State. Dalton Douty started at the beginning of the year, ended up being our closer at the end of the year. He's going to San Diego State. Our starting center fielder, Brandon Morones, is going to Houston Baptist. And Matt Esparza, another one of our starters, is going to UC Irvine. We also had two other kids. Joe Duffin has visited South Alabama, had been offered, been to University of Connecticut, and he's been offered. And I think we have one more. Johnny Miller is flying up to San Jose State next weekend.
That's terrific.
Yeah, so that's 7 off this club, and there's a possibility even. And Kramer Farrell is being recruited by Kansas State and BYU right now.
That's fantastic. You know, one of the greatest honors any of your former players could have is having their name and their institution adorned to your outfield wall as either an academic All-American or a future Major League Baseball player. As you assess this year's signing class, what are the prospects for some of these guys to be in one of those categories as an MLB player or a potential D1 All-American?
You know, I don't predict those things. It's a matter of how they perform at the next level. But we are we've got 8 kids that have left us and become Division I All-Americans. So they're Division I at the highest level they can play in college baseball. And a lot of them weren't even honored to go to a Division I school out of high school, and then they came to Cypress for 2 years and became Division I All-Americans, along with the 18 guys that we've had make the big leagues.
That's terrific. So let's meet our signees for this year's 2014 signing class. All right, I'm sitting here with Stephen Kane, 2013 State Pitcher of the Year, and also won a state championship here at Cypress College, and he's headed to the University of Tennessee, correct?
Yes, sir, that's right.
Awesome. So when you decided to come to Cypress College, what made you decide to come here, and what did you ultimately expect to get out of your career?
Well, when I first left St. Mary's, this was the first school I visited, and I met with Coach Pick, and just after meeting him and seeing what he's done with other kids before and sending kids on the next level, it was an easy choice. I didn't even visit another school.
After breaking multiple school records last year, after starting off this season as hot as ever, do you think the competition you're going to face next year is going to really help you get to where you want to be as a professional? Do you think you're going to be given those opportunities at Tennessee to really get to that ultimate goal of making the major leagues?
Well, it's going to be a challenge. The SEC definitely has a lot of talent in it, and just watching the games, seeing the kind of hitters that whole league produces is unbelievable, and I think it's going to be a great experience. And if I can go and have some success there, it just leads to opportunities that I can't describe.
Now here's a question that might be a little bit different. You took classes here at Cypress College. Who was one of your favorite instructors here and why?
Art Goldman, the English professor, always brought up really interesting topics that I always enjoyed, so probably that class.
All right. If you had a piece of advice to give to an athlete who's going to choose to play baseball at Cypress College next year, what would you tell them and why?
Be ready to work hard because you're not going to make the team if you don't.
All right, well, Stephen, good luck at the University of Tennessee. Thanks for stopping by. All right, I'm now sitting here with Dalton Douty, Cypress College men's baseball team. Dalton, you're a local athlete. Where did you come from and what made you choose Cypress College?
I went to Edison High School in Huntington Beach, and then after that I was going to come here, and then I ended up going to UC Santa Barbara. Played there for 2 years, and then that didn't really work out, so then I came back here, and that's how I ended up here.
Awesome. The Cypress College men's baseball team has a number of assistant coaches and volunteer coaches that help our athletes develop, help them get to the next level. Reflect upon one of your experiences during the last season that might have been a good teaching moment, and how did it help you improve either on the field or off the field?
Well, we had a lot of assistant coaches from the pitching standpoint. We had 3 pitching coaches, and took a little bit of each from each one, and they helped me develop tremendously throughout the year. And from the standpoint when I came in until now, I think I made a lot of improvements.
As a student athlete and as a player in our baseball program, there's really no downtime. You're either working out, you're training, you're in season, you're out of season. Baseball's always on your mind. Describe the regimen of what a baseball player at Cypress College goes through.
Well, it's a grind from the time you step on campus, from the fall all the way to the end of the spring. We have weights 6:45 in the morning, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We're on the field every day at noon, and out of there by 4. And just a grind every day. You got to put in the work. You want to get better.
San Diego State, outstanding baseball school, relatively close to home. What made you choose to go there, and how do you expect to fit into their system?
Well, let's see. They recruited me early in the fall. I had a good outing, and they called me, and I wanted to stay local again. I went to Santa Barbara, but I wanted to stay local again. And San Diego State's competitive program in the Mountain West, and play for Tony Gwynn. Can't ask for much better than that. And they got a new pitching coach this year, Coach Pulowski. So I'm looking forward to next year.
That's terrific. As a student here at Cypress College, tell us a little bit about maybe who your favorite instructor was, or maybe a staff member of value to you outside of the athletic realm.
I think I'm gonna have to agree with Kane. Art Golden is both our English professors. He's had an interesting outlook on things from political topics. So it was an interesting class to say the least.
Awesome. Well, thanks for taking your time to be here today. Good luck at San Diego State. I'm sitting here with Brandon Morones, who is signed with Houston Baptist. Brandon, welcome.
Thank you.
All right, so tell me a little bit about your experience here at Cypress. How did the season go for you?
This season was a little tougher than the last one I experienced, obviously. But I've been here at Cypress 3 years, redshirted my freshman year, and every season here has just been a blessing. Met a lot of new people, made some great friends, and gained a lot of good experiences from my coaches and the rest of the guys on the team.
And we talk about ups and downs. Previous year, state championship. This year, success not quite at that level.
Yeah.
How does an athlete like yourself, who's able to move on, continue to keep that positive attitude and know that the game is basically a game of ups and downs? You're going to have your highs and lows. How do you stay mentally focused to be able to deal with the good and the bad?
Well, I started playing baseball at the age of 5. I'm sure a lot of these guys started around the same time, and you've learned that over the course of the years. It is up and down, and obviously I've been at the ups of the ups and the downs of the downs, but it's been a fun ride nonetheless.
What is your favorite memory as a Cypress College baseball player?
Nothing beats the third out of the state championship last year, just running in, getting in the dog pile with all my guys and seeing the emotional coaches, which is hard to come by. They don't show that side of them very often, so that was pretty fun.
Also, to be, as you were in that journey along to the tournament, winners sometimes never get that thought of, is this it? Is this the farthest we've made it? When you were in that super regional down at Saddleback, what goes through an athlete's head knowing that you might be on the verge of elimination? Like, what do you think about at those moments when wow, this thing might be coming to an end, and then unexpectedly you work hard and next thing you know you have a ring?
Yeah, you never want to have your back up against the wall and point to which we were 2 outs, 2 strikes. We were really down to the last one, but the team chemistry we built up by that point was great, and we were able to trust the guy next to us, and everyone kind of did their job, and from that moment forward, even though we hadn't been successful against Saddleback in conference, we took it from them when it mattered and just went on the roll from there.
Developing camaraderie amongst a team is critical. You really have to function. That chemistry has to be there to win a state championship. Who have you formed some good chemistry with, or who are some of your favorite teammates? And how have they helped support you, not only on the diamond, but maybe outside as a student?
Well, being here 3 years now, I've obviously had a lot of friends come in and out, and I've seen a lot of people play under the program. I do have to say that Robert Chavarria, who is now at Stony Brook University, was one of my biggest role models my first 2 years here. He was a captain from the day I came in here, and I could just see him kind of taking charge, and people respected him. Not quite the biggest guy out there, but I've always kind of tried to follow in his footsteps. Great little scrappy baseball player, not the most talent, but works with what he's got, and he's doing a great job right now, so I'm excited for him.
It's awesome. Houston Baptist, you're going to be living in a different part of the country, going to school. How do you fit into their system there, and what do you plan on majoring in when you go to school?
I'm excited to go out there. I plan on majoring in liberal arts and sciences, and we'll see. I'm excited to jump in the outfield hopefully for them and run around. They went into a new conference this year, a little bit bigger and better, so and they're trying to get some more California guys as well, so I'm excited to go out there and get an opportunity to play D1 baseball.
If you were able to predict the future, where do you see yourself at the end of your D1 playing career?
I hope we, I just hope to make some sort of run like we did here at Cypress College. We would have to be that Cinderella story kind of team, but see what we can do in the end and make Houston Baptist a little more on the map.
That'd be awesome. Brendan, thank you so much for joining me today. Appreciate it.
Much.
All right, I'm now sitting here with Matt Esparza, who is signed with UC Irvine. Matt, I'm an alum of UC Irvine, and they have a wonderful ballpark there. What made you decide to choose UCI?
I think just because they have one of the top programs in California, and the coaches over there have had a lot of success, especially the pitching coach, and I was really excited to be offered by them and become part of the program.
So that's great. You get to stay local in Orange County, and we'll be able to watch you and follow your career closely. Think back on your playing experience here at Cypress College. What's one of your favorite memories?
I think just some of the good wins we had, some of the good team wins. We had a couple games where we scrapped from behind or had long fought victories, and I think those were some of the best memories.
The Orange Empire Conference is definitely the most competitive baseball conference out there. From a community college perspective, it probably doesn't get better than playing in the OEC. When you look at the opportunity to play at Cypress College and have a chance to start and move on, what does that mean to you for a student athlete in making your decision to come to Cypress and the opportunities you have? Was when you chose Cypress College, did that have special meaning to you?
Yeah, I heard nothing but good things about the program and about the pitching staff, about Coach Pickler and some of the development that they've had in the past with other guys, and I thought, for someone who wants to get better and everything, this would be the best place to come play.
How demanding do you feel the regimen was as a student baseball player here? How much work do you have to put in, especially when you're in season? What does that look like?
It's a lot of work. There's morning weights, early hours, and long practices. But it's worth it to get the final product, which is wins and good baseball played on the field in front of.
Absolutely. How does your family feel about having the opportunity to see you play locally?
They were really excited. I mean, it was special for me to come back and be around my family, be closer to home, and get to pitch in front of my parents and my brother. And that was one of the reasons I chose Irvine too, so that I could continue to do that.
Any classes or instructors that you're particularly fond of while you're here at Cypress College?
Yeah, I liked my history of rock professor, David Isaacs. He was just really passionate about the subject, and you could tell every day it was something that he looked forward to teaching, and kind of think, showed the class that it affected the other guys, how they viewed the subject. So.
Any advice for a potential future Cypress College baseball player?
Just listen to the coaches. They won't steer you wrong.
Perfect. Thank you very much for joining us today. Now joined by Matt Tietz, who is signed with Oklahoma State University. Matt, so tell us, Big 12 baseball's coming your way. What do you expect next year?
Nothing but the best baseball out there. I mean, I've been watching a lot of the Big 12 players this year, and I can't even believe what they're doing and the competitive level that they're on. And I'm just really excited to go out there and play.
You know, as you reflect back on your career here at Cypress and you think about the possibilities of what's coming to you next year, did you ever imagine when you first came to Cypress College that you would have the opportunity to play at a school like Oklahoma State?
I mean, I didn't know that it was going to be that big. I knew I had a good shot with all the good connections that Coach Pick has and all the coaches and the history here at Cypress, but I never would have thought a Big 12 school such as Oklahoma State would have contacted me, and with the help of Coach Pick and hard work, it happened. So,
Baseball being a game of ups and downs, tell us one of your biggest highs, and tell us also, if you'd be so kind enough, maybe one of the biggest challenges or lows you had while you were a student athlete here, and how you were able to get out of that.
Well, I'll start with the lows. Didn't have the greatest season I wanted to, but I definitely worked hard, and I tried to adjust as much as possible. And the help with all the coaches helped me out all season, and my teammates definitely were always there for me.
Do you think that athletes are well supported here? Do you feel like you have a support staff beyond just the coaches on the field, but not only academically, but do you feel that there's a genuine community to some extent here at Cypress that makes us unique?
Definitely. I mean, I know a lot of the athletes here, and there's definitely not special treatment, but everyone's looking out for each other. To the trainers, to the coaches, to the teachers, everyone really respects the athletes, and it's a good place to come and play.
Who is one of the most influential individuals you think you've met in your time here at Cypress, and why?
I would have to say Coach Moore, our women's basketball coach. I had 2 of her classes this year, and everything that she taught us, and from integrity to honesty and just things that we did in her class are really special. And I'd like to thank her for that. And I just had a good year, and she really influenced me with not only sports but academically too.
That's awesome. Any word of advice for future Cypress College baseball players who might dream of being in your position one day?
It's a lot of hard work, but it's definitely worth it, and chase your dreams.
Last but not least, as Matt's finishing up his career here, next year he'll be rounding the bases and seeing, 4,000 people waving those cowboy guns right at him. It's unbelievable. Matt, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
And appreciate it.